This is the Male Rights Activist Podcast, episode 144, where we focus on relationships, sports, pop culture, and politics from a mannish point of view. First of all, we want to thank our listeners, our new ones, our OGs. Thank you for hanging with the fellas.
What up?
On today's show, J-Lo and Ben Affleck were hanging out.
J-Lo hanging out with her exes. Puffy somewhere smiling.
His turn might be coming. The Red Table talks about polyamory.
Kyle, I don't like it. Over there gossiping over polyamory. Polly ain't did shit to them. Polly's a good woman, I'm sure. I don't like it, Kyle.
I bet she is, dog. We got a Dear Urban from a woman who shared her fears with her husband only to have it fly back in her face. All that and more. Right now. This is MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. I am Kyle.
I am Kamal.
And we're helping you to understand the man you love. Let's get to the news, Kamal. A new budget airline debuted last week called Avelo Air.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, which is actually Spanish for cheap until you need a seat.
I hate when those add-ons like, oh,
Dude,
yeah.
It's so fucking expensive.
It's $5, but if you want a seat, that's like $9,000.
Is that? It's $5.
But you can fly for like $4.
Oh, you want to sit down? Oh, nigga, that's gonna cost you.
That's gonna cost you a little bit. Yo, man, check this out. Speaking of corporations, McDonald's is giving away McFlurries to everyone who thought the spoon was a straw. Yep, they are calling it their stupid motherfucking promotion.
Because people was really mad about that. Hey, man, I thought this was a straw.
Sucking on that spoon. Like, what? That shit is...
What in the fuck
It's
is
wide.
this?
It is a real... It's wide. I don't understand. It's so wide. Why can't I get any shakeout?
Yo, can I get that McDonald's stupid motherfucking commercial? I just need the stupid motherfucking thing, man, because I don't understand.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out, man. We both have sisters. A man gave his sister a lotto ticket for her birthday, and she won $500,000.
That is so nice.
I know, man. He wanted to take it back, but he knew if he did, she'd tell Mom. Yeah.
Oh, that was an awkward Thanksgiving.
Oh, hello. I'm telling. Mom, you ever seen Phineas and Ferb come out?
Oh, yeah. Mom!
Yeah, I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen if he gets his lottery ticket back.
Speaking of people coming into dough, the NFL draft was this past weekend.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, 259 young men became millionaires overnight.
Wow. Yeah.
And that popping sign you just heard is 259 girlfriends poking holes in condoms.
You know, Kamal, I actually read that sales in needles just went way up through the roof. You got to get your stock of needles, Kamal, right now.
Oh, man, that needle stock is
it's about to go off the chain, bro. Oh, man. And speaking of intercourse, Kamal, Willow Smith took to the Red Table to talk about the benefits of polyamory, which is a non-monogamous lifestyle, dog. Yeah, man. Willow's grandmother, she seemed shocked, but Jada was like, Willow's got some good points there, actually. This doesn't sound that bad. Keep talking, Willow.
Sounds so bad. Wow.
No entanglements is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. Let me try to convince your father.
So it's POL.
Speaking of sex,
Okay.
A review of research published in the American Journal of Cardiology found that having sex more often decreases your risk of cardiovascular disease.
Really?
So, fellas, remember to tell your girl, you didn't catch me cheating. You caught me trying to improve my health.
That's what you were doing.
That's all I was doing, baby. I'm trying to live longer for you.
For you. That's all.
I'm doing this for you.
Yeah, man. Hey, come out. So President Biden reached a landmark. He has now reached his 100th day in office, and he gave a speech to Congress, dog.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, the speech was called boring by some of his critics. As a matter of fact, it put Ted Cruz to sleep. Now, this is a far cry from the days when after Trump's speeches, most of us couldn't sleep at all. We just was like, oh, God, I can't.
Ah, man, tossing and turning overnight.
I'm tossing and turning like, this motherfucker
This
he gonna cuss us all.
Yeah, this motherfucker is crazy.
This nigga crazy. Man, this is crazy, man. The only black Republican senator, Tim Scott, responded to Biden's speech with a speech of his own where he said, America is not a racist country. That's what he said, man. Yeah, well, you can watch the entire 15-minute speech on Netflix under comedy specials. Yeah, that's right.
After he said all of that shit about getting...
all that bullshit, yeah. People was laughing. I was busting up like,
wait a second. You got pulled over countless times in D.C. and followed around the store, and it's not a racist country.
Of course not.
Funny.
I was laughing. He had me laughing.
Yo, after Tim Scott's rebuttal to President Biden's speech, in which Scott claimed that America's not a racist country, like you said, Kyle, the term Uncle Tim trended on Twitter for 11 hours.
11 hours.
That's a long time. Twitter said they would have took it down earlier, but nobody came up with a better diss. They couldn't think of one, man.
They couldn't, man.
They couldn't think of one, so they had to leave that shit up there for 11 hours, man.
Hey, best diss stays, man. That's pretty much how it is. They couldn't get a topper, dog. That's how comedy works.
Nobody can do it.
Hey, man, this is something I thought was strange. Kamala Harris actually agreed with Tim Scott that America is not a racist country, but said America has a racist past.
Okay, I can understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, well, I agree with racist past. You know, white supremacy groups, voter suppression, police brutality, all that happened way back in April. So that is the past, you know.
It's kind of racist the last 3 days.
Yes. I mean, it is May, Kabal. You know what I'm saying?
It is, man. We're moving forward, Kyle.
We're moving forward, dog. Come on, man. Don't be like them. And Lindsey Graham, he agreed with him, too. He said, he agreed that America's not a racist country. Now, here's the thing that's confusing to me. I'm not saying Lindsey Graham is racist. Come on. I'm not going to say that. But you know how people wear that cross around their neck? Mm-hmm. Lindsey's is burning. So... I ain't trying to say he's racist, but I've never seen a burning crucifix.
That's why he wears those flame retarded shirts and stuff like
that.
That's
why. That's exactly why.
Exactly
You're a very
why,
smart man. Yes.
Oh,
man. AOC said that President Biden has exceeded all her expectations, which I mean, I don't know what she expected in the first 100 days, Cabal. Was he going to come out and say, guys, I'm your new president from Delaware, and I always wondered, what did Delaware under that dress? What was she wearing? Was he going to say that? Was he going to open with that, Cabal?
That's a dad joke.
Isn't it? What did Delaware?
That is a nice dad joke.
Well, I am a dad, Cabal.
I know. I love dad jokes. I love it. Yo, man, speaking of my main man, Joe Biden.
Yes.
The FDA reportedly moves to ban menthol cigarettes like Newport 100s and flavored cigars like Swisher Sweets.
Wow.
Right. And in related news, chicken prices are going up. So when Joe Biden said that he'll always have black people's backs, he was lying his ass off.
He was lying his ass off.
First the Newports and the chicken. Come on,
prices?
man.
Oh, there's a chicken shortage, man. What the fuck you trying to do, Joe?
Joe.
God damn, as soon as you get in office, you try to take away Newports and chicken, nigga, this ain't right. It ain't right, all right? It ain't right.
Speaking of ain't right, the Department of Justice plans on indicting Derek Chauvin on civil rights violations.
Oh, I like that.
It's a perfect time, too, Kyle.
Why?
With all this momentum going against him, they also might be able to get him for the murders of Biggie, Tupac, and Emmett Till. Like, fuck
all
it.
three of them.
Fuck it.
Hey, fuck it. I think he did it, dog.
I think he did it, man.
They said it was a cop, nigga.
They said it was a cop. Yo, man. And finally, Uganda and Kenya have suspended flights to and from India after the surge in coronavirus cases in the Asian country.
Yeah.
African countries keeping people out to protect their own people. Man, y'all should have did that back in 1619, dog.
Man, it's a little late, dog.
Yeah, I know, right? They should have did this one. I mean, I guess it's never too late.
It's never too late, man. You have the right sentiment, but it's just not.
It's about 500 years a little too late, man.
Man, that was funny, man. I'm sorry. This was fun, dude. When we come back, man, we have some feedback, and after that, we have a post nut from a woman who regrets the guy she chose out of a crew of guys to hook up with. We'll talk about it. It's an MRA podcast. Hey, what's up, guys? I sure hope you're enjoying the show. If you like it, I invite you to go to our website, themrapodcast.com, and catch up on over 100 episodes that we have in store for you.
You ain't working. You might as well check us out.
And if you want some more, go over to The World According to Cheryl and check me out on Cheryl Underwood's podcast. We post content there every single day. We have her normal radio show labeled SUR, and then the Cheryl Underwood podcast, where we get in her personal business every Friday. Then on the weekends, we have the special of these shows have ranged from late night cupcake to auntie show's house party to our gospel show, Spiritual Nourishment.
You gotta check out the world according to Cheryl, even though I ain't on it.
We got some feedback, homie.
Do we now?
Yes, we do, man. Ryan says, you guys rock. I didn't know. That sounds like a white dude right there. You guys rock.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I didn't know if I would be able to relate to the show or not because I'm a white guy from Iowa. That's as white as you get, Camille, or Montana, or Idaho. Anyway, I drive a truck and I love listening on my long hauls. Keep up the good work, Ryan in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Thank you for listening, Ryan.
Kyle, I don't know if I trust it, man.
Why not, bro?
The white trucker from Iowa saying they like our shit, man. I don't know, man. Let's be leery. If he invites us out to do a show in Cedar Falls, Iowa, man, I'm probably gonna miss that flight, Kyle. I'm sorry.
You are hilarious.
I'm not gonna be able to make it, man. It just sounds a little suspicious.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, man. Come on down, man. I'll pick you up in my Confederate truck. Nah, that's not necessarily true. But there's a lot of racist dude out there on the truck. Man.
I'm just messing around, Ryan, man. Yeah. Thanks for listening, man. Appreciate you. Doubt.
Yep, man. Coming up, we have a post-up from a woman who regrets the guy she chose out of a crew of guys to hook up with. We'll tell you all about it next. It's the MRA Podcast. According to Webster's dictionary, being in post-nut mode is when you have a clear mind and you can make sound decisions as if you just busted a nut.
Yeah, I don't know if Webster actually said that.
No, he didn't. But our listener Big Easy Q told us all about it and we can relate. Women, men. So listen, if you have a story of when you did something foolish.
In pre-nut mode?
Yeah, something really dumb. Maybe it was top crime. Especially something in pre-nut mode you don't want nobody to know about. Hit us up and we'll tell the world. We can all laugh at your expense and hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes.
Aristotle once said, the results of pre-nut mode is the best teacher. I think he said some shit like that.
Send us your stories at dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That's dearirby@themrapodcast.com. And now it's time for a post-nut mode story, only on the MRA Podcast. Okay, this is from Trishelle in Atlanta. She says, this was back in my party days. I went to Vegas with 3 of my friends. One of my friends was already married, but me and this other girl, who let's just call her my frenemy, were single. We partying one night. We all up in VIP, popping bottles, Cristal at the time before it was canceled, hilarious, with these boys. And it was this one boy, he was cute. He was in good shape. He had on this baggy Sean John velour tracksuit. What you know about those?
This was obviously back in the day, man. I mean,
yeah,
this
first
was
the Cristal,
this was a long time ago.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
So he had on all the jewelry. I knew he was either a ball player or a rapper. He said he was a rapper. His friend was into me, but he was a little too big for my taste. I plugged him with my frenemy. We take the party to their suite. And this thing looked like my whole entire apartment, multiple bedrooms and all. My frenemy gave the fat one some. I gave the skinny one some. And the next day at breakfast, I found out that the fat one was an offensive lineman. And the skinny one wasn't no damn rapper. He was working on his music. Oh, gosh. Come to find out, all the jewelry belonged to the football player. That tracksuit was so baggy on him, it might have belonged to his friend as well. My frenemy ends up marrying the lineman, and they end up supporting the skinny one while he worked on his music for 6 years. Needless to say, I am forever in post-nut mode after that mistake. Come on, where did she go wrong, my dude?
Well, I wouldn't even say she's in post-nut mode. I would say she's in post-groupie mode. You know what I'm saying? I think she pulled the fast one on her, man.
Man, isn't that?
But here's the thing about it. This is a prime example of why dudes be fronting. This shit works.
It works.
This shit works. He had jewelry on, a baggy velour sweatsuit on, which was obviously all of his homeboy shit, who was balling out of control. And what did he get out of it? He got taken care of for 6 years.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? But I don't think he was planning to get taken care of for 6 years.
No, but
I think he was planning to smash.
And his plan worked to a T.
To a T.
And then some.
How the ladies will be like, man, why do y'all be lying? This is why it works. Will the truth work? That's the thing. I think that's a question y'all need to ask yourselves, ladies. Will the truth work?
And the good thing about it is also another moral of the story is,
come on,
the frenemy gave the fat dude some on the first night.
Go, everybody stand up and clap your hands.
They're married. They're married. She wasn't worried about, I don't know how I'm gonna look in the mirror. They're married. She was with the Yeah, and then Trishelle was with the other dude for 6 years. So, I mean, everything worked out. Probably not for Trishelle after 6 years, but everybody.
But she gave up on him.
Yeah.
And we come back, man. A pastor got caught shooting his shot. We'll tell you all about it. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys, if you're digging the show, then please tell somebody. People might say something to you like, hey, man, you know, what podcast you listening to? And that's when you say the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal.
Or the MRA Podcast with Kamal and Kyle.
Kamal. I've never heard of this church. I'm guessing you haven't because you're not a Christian dude.
Hey, hold on, man. Hold on, man. I mean,
help me out, dude.
I still know my churches.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. We ain't talking about chicken either. You talking about actual places of worship.
I know my places of worship. So don't play me like that, man.
Don't disrespect, man.
Yeah. So what is this place?
Places of worship, man. Did you know that Julian is like a head pastor now, dog? My boy Julian.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, man. Like I did not know that, man. Like he's a pastor, like a mega church in L.A., man.
Oh, I didn't know it was a mega church. I thought it was.
Like it's a real church with like Queen Latifah will be up in there, man, and the Weeknd and them, dog. Julian is the head dog. Google Julian Lowe Oasis Church, man. It'll blow your mind. Anyway, man, I'm not even cutting that out, man, because some of our people from Rialto know Julian.
He was living that large.
I did not know either, man. I'm like, go ahead, EJ. Anyway, so back to this. So since you know your churches, I know you know Oasis Church in L.A. Shouts out to EJ.
Never heard of it.
You are a fool right now. You just, I can't get down with you, man. I cannot roll with this dude.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Anyway, so Hillsong Church is one of those.
Again. Never heard of it either. That one don't ring a bell either, Kyle.
Nothing goes. Okay, let me focus here, man. Hillsong Church, they're a mega church. I never heard of them either, man. And I know a few churches, but this one I never heard of. So they're, I guess maybe on the East Coast, but I know they got 2 buildings, campuses as I call them. All right. So anyway, so Hillsong, they had a scandal in New York City. A white dude got caught up in the scandal, man. And I hate to sound shocked that it was a white dude, but it was a white dude mega pastor. Because I always hear about the brothers. I don't know, you didn't hear what the white dudes are doing at the pastors. But this was actually Justin Bieber's church. And
oh, yeah, I remember that. We covered that.
Okay, well, his pastor got busted back in November for cheating on his wife. And then now this new one, Hillsong Church in New Jersey, this pastor, 32 years old, he resigned after. That's kind of young to be a pastor, man. He ain't ready. He may not be ready at 32. Come out. Was you ready at 32 to be a what do they call them? Imam? What do they call them? Imams? Imam. Were you ready at 32 to be an imam?
No. I'm still not ready. I don't think I would. Nah.
It ain't never. You're going to be ready eventually. I bet you could be what imam at 60. You probably don't want to be, but you could be one at 60, I bet.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would be like, or, I would give my word, preach and be like, or, y'all really got to listen to what I'm saying, man. I don't.
You're not even going to sell it.
Yeah, it'd be hard for me to sell it. Or y'all can just do what y'all keep doing, man.
Or you can just do what you do, man. Do you.
It's
you know
all
what I
to
mean?
you, man.
I mean, stay off the bacon, but do you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so the pastor resigned because, dog, listen, man, I don't even want to say this dude name. I ain't going to put him out there like that. But he was allegedly trying to shoot his shot, all right? So he says he accidentally, this is air quotes, accidentally sent a shot of himself working out in his tights at the gym. So he's sending some inspirational, I was depressed, but now I'm back and I'm working out. And he's shirtless. He's at the gym in the mirror, and he's got his Nike tights on, and they show his print, as they call it. Yeah, I mean, so then he sends it out to some people, I guess, that he quote unquote is trying to inspire. Right. Mm-hmm. And he says, this is the game part come out. He says, hey, he sends a message to this girl because he accidentally puts her on the feed of all the people he sends this private message to. So he's like, hey, I think I might have added you to my close friends list by accident. I'm so sorry. Trying to figure out how to edit this. I don't know how to use this Instagram thing. I just don't get it. She called his ass out. It was embarrassing. Come out. She basically called him out saying, hold on, nigga, I know good and well what you're doing here, and it's not okay. I know you're doing this to innocent women, And if it really was a mistake, why would you be hitting me up talking about, I'm sorry, I accidentally added you to this message so that she could see him?
I believe him, Kyle. I believe he was trying to. He doesn't know how to edit, because if he did, he would have made his package bigger, and we wouldn't be hearing about this.
We would not be hearing about this. If it was bigger, she would have fell for it, huh?
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you something, fellas. Women do not want unsolicited dick pics, man. Can I just say this one more time? There's not a woman out there that wants it unsolicited. I don't care. They're just not into it, dude. She gotta ask for it, man. If she wants it or she hints at it, but he floated his shot, dude. He was an old school float. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I don't know if I've never seen like a woman have a Playgirl magazine or anything like that.
No.
I just don't see that. Now, they like to see guys with their shirts off.
They do like the 6-packs.
They like the 6-packs and what they call it, the male cleavage and the and the
V
pecs. They like all
what's
that
that
shit.
singer's name? Not Genuine, D'Angelo. They like that D'Angelo, the little cut right there.
D'Angelo now?
Not new D'Angelo. How does it feel, D'Angelo?
Oh, okay.
Stay with me, dog.
Oh, okay. How's it feel, D'Angelo?
He's
okay.
a fool. Oh, you're on fire tonight, man.
Now it's how does it taste, D'Angelo? Now how does it feel?
But he can't get no chicken wings right now, man, because President Biden is bullshit with the chicken wings, man.
The price of chicken wings is going up
through the fucking roof thanks to the pandemic. So we got to put it back on Trump. Thanks to the pandemic, Mr. Trump.
More shit that Trump did, man.
Ah, man. Hey, man, we come back. Is Bennifer bouncing back? See that alliteration? Kamal and I will let you know. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, guys and gals, if you're enjoying the show, let someone know. Whatever app you're listening on, please subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a positive comment.
Why wouldn't you give us 5 stars and a positive comment? We're great.
Yes, we are. This helps our placement so that other people can enjoy the show as well.
And why wouldn't they? We're great.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have been spotted. Let me tell you something, Kamal. I do want to be respected. I do want to be a legend in the comedy game. But I don't want to be so damn famous that Page 6 is hanging out outside my house to see who the fuck is pulling up, my nigga.
No.
Like that. That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Jennifer Lopez doesn't have people park at her house. I don't know if the parking is bad. I don't know if she doesn't. Maybe it's for this reason. But allegedly, Jennifer Lopez, what she does is she has people, if you're going to go to her house, you park down the street somewhere else. And then she sends her white Escalade to pick you up. And I guess the driver picks you up, and then you hop in, you hop out, you go up in her house, you chill. And Page 6 just be hanging outside J-Lo's house, bro. I guess because she just broke up with A-Rod. Mm-hmm. So they want to know if he's coming by. But that's just so, I mean, could you imagine how much that would really kill your game? Like if you had, everybody had to know who's coming to your house, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of intentional because I can get you in there without people knowing. I could just sit in the white Escalade to the house. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. You don't have to park in front of my house. I can get. You know, you park at the McDonald's or something like that. You know, act like you're going to get the new McFlurry because you didn't know.
Yeah,
it was
because
straw.
the straws.
Yeah, you didn't know, and you could just hop in that white Esky and pull up to J-Lo's house. So I don't know. It sounds kind of like, hey, everybody, check me out. Sounds kind of thirsty.
It sounds thirsty, but to you, I'm not going there, man, because, like I said, he's just pulling up to the house, and Page 6 is outside. And according to Page 6, they've been spending together a lot of time together. Affleck has been spotted multiple times going to J-Lo's crib in Cali during the day, and he reportedly parks near her home. All right, so here's the other thing, man. According to Page 6, she was also hanging with A-Rod last week. Now, I know, just having lunch. But it's platonic, and her friends and the sources say, hey, man, ain't no thing. J-Lo just stays friendly with her exes. As a matter of fact, her and Ben been kicking it. And her and A-Rod still hang out. So that I guess that's confusing to me, Kamal. I know your wife listens to the show. How do you feel about, let's not make it about you, about maybe someone, maybe a woman, maybe you, maybe a man, hanging out platonically with their exes?
I don't know if I agree with it. Definitely, my wife's exes. They, you know,
yeah,
I can't hang out with them niggas, man.
Because you know your intentions with your exes, right? So you trust you, but you don't necessarily trust these dudes, these guys that, you know, got fired for a reason around your wife. You feel me?
I find it really weird, man, like to actually just be hanging out, shooting the shit. And I guess the comedian in me would just like still make like old jokes about, you know, like, you know, sex jokes and stuff like that. So I'm assuming everybody is gonna just mention that. I'm assuming, you know, that's the conversation. Remember the time we was, you know, we got caught in the car. That was funny, man. Yeah. And so it's like I don't trust dudes' intentions. I trust my intentions.
Of course.
You know, even if they are impure, I still trust them.
At least you know they're not going to get out of hand. At least you don't think they will.
Nah, I mean, yeah. Honestly, I think I'm friendly with all my exes except for like two. I'm good. I'm good with all of them, man. I mean, I had no problem with them. You would have to ask them.
Yeah,
you know, and while you at it, you ask them why they not accepting my friend request as well.
Hilarious. You stupid. You know. Let me say mine, man. I'm cool with being cool with exes. I'm real cool with it. I don't understand hanging out and going to dinner, though. Like, I mean, all right, like maybe one time to catch up. But, like, as a relationship, I don't understand that. Because in my mind, it is hard if I used to hit. I never understand how women do that. How he's in my past, I don't care. We're just friends now. That's weird to me if y'all used to have sex, that y'all can just go back to platonic. Because to me, it's hard for me to not see you as amorously. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to not be attracted to you if we've had sex one time. Even if it was just one time. It's a weird thing. In my mind, I'm always wondering, like, cause you know, here's the thing that you can help with us out, ladies. If you just kept it real about what you want. Because in our culture, we got to guess. Y'all ain't never just real. So it's like, it's a weird thing of like, is that a signal? She want to hit again? Like, was that a signal? Was that? Remember that time I sent you a picture of an old associate and I never had hit it, but I always used to tell you that I thought she was fine. And then she sent me like a high picture and was like, and she had like a bunch of cleavage in the shot.
It was a bunch of cleavage, Kyle. Of course I remember.
Exactly. In my mind, I kept thinking like, is she trying to get me to smash? You know what I mean? Because just tell me how what did you interpret from that picture?
Yeah, I thought it was like, hey, it's all good if you want.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's weird because we can get in trouble for thinking that. But I literally thought, I didn't push up on it, but I remember thinking, that's a lot of cleavage.
Yeah, I mean, purpose. It was safe not to push up, man. That's the thing about it. Nowadays, man, you have to be safe, man, because
man,
you try to you misread the signal.
Oh man, you're in trouble. You're in Cuomo land. Yeah, you're in Cuomo land, baby.
You're asked out. You misread.
Don't go to Cuomo land. No, don't go to. You cannot. You do not want to miss. No Cuomo. You know how they say no homo. You got to say no Cuomo.
No Cuomo, baby.
No Cuomo. You got to be clear, ladies, because I ain't guessing. When we come back, Willow Smith took to the red table to talk about being polyamorous. How do we feel about it? Find out next. It's the MRA Podcast. You listen to us, but Kamal and I want you to know that we listen to you too.
Even if we don't always respond to your tweets in a timely manner.
I love how you say we, man. So if you have some feedback, maybe you agree.
Maybe you disagree.
Or maybe you just want to tell us how much you love the show, or that you want to testify about how we specifically helped you out. Or maybe you just want to tell Kamal how he was right or wrong.
But mostly right.
Whatever you want to tell us, hit us on our social. I'm at Kyle Irby.
I'm at Angry Kamal.
Hit us up and you just might hear your comment on the air.
Promise. We'll be gentle.
Kamal, ready or not, young Willow Smith is having sex. Now this is like, she talked about on the red table. She was talking about how her friends are into monogamy and she's the only one into polyamory, and they all have more sex than her. And when she said that with her mom and grandmother, I was just like, oh God, not you, Willow. God, you know, I never met the girl, but in my mind,
I whip my head back and forth.
She's the homie's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, everyone is thinking, by the way, Will Smith, not my homie, but in my, you know, when it's a celebrity you like, you feel like you grew up with the dude. It feels like the homie.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Will Smith is, you know, That's the homie.
He's a homie. Yeah, exactly. So,
Never met the guy, but I think we
to
get
me,
along.
right?
We get along.
We do. Of course. So anyway, the homie's daughter, man, is having sex, and that just feels weird to say. And she says she is not into monogamy. She's into polyamory. Now, of course, Kamal, you know me in a long time. I've been talking about polyamory for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm happy to see, because it's going to take women to make this thing happen, just to be honest. It's going to take women to open the doors for, to change some of the rules. So anyway, she's been studying the trend of polyamory, and I like that she said she's been studying and not just like, I just let it sounding stupid. So she's been studying. I was happy about that. And what I also liked about it, because every time I look into it and study, it's always white women. And she was mentioning that, there's a black side too. And so she's, she's happy to see that. Anyway, I'm happy that the word's getting out about the polyamorous lifestyle. Most of the guests on the show were women, and as I said, it's going to take women to do it. Because if a guy pushes the polyamorous lifestyle, he's going to look like a creep. He's going to look like here's the thing, dude's been polyamorous for years. There's just never been a name for it. You know what I mean?
It was a dirty, cheating dog.
Yeah, you dirty cheat. Yeah, exactly. And if you bring it up to your wife, you're still a dirty cheating dog. But but men have been living that lifestyle of trying to say, hey, look, I love you. It doesn't mean I love you any less. I just want to hit something different. Man, that episode was amazing. But one of the things I like is this Asian woman, and I'm only calling her an Asian woman so if you watch it, you'll know who I was talking about, because I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. Anyway, this Asian woman, shouts out to Asian Appreciation Month. She said, I don't know what it's called. I just called it Asian Appreciation. Sorry. Anyway, she said when she was a kid, she would see rom-coms, and the woman was confused about which, because you know how they doing those romantic comedies. Mm-hmm. Two perfect guys like her. She doesn't know which one to pick. And she said as a young teenager, she'd always think, why not have them both? Which Kamal, I would think the same thing. Every time a dude, has two girls or whatever, I'd be like, man, wouldn't it be nice if you could just have them both? Kamal, how do you feel about Willow Smith saying she is a polyamorous person?
Oh man, Kyle.
Come on, bro.
I guess I like it.
You guess. Why do you guess? It sounds like you don't like it, so just say you don't like it. Help us out.
Well, here's the thing about it, man. I like the lifestyle, I guess. Right? So I like the lifestyle. Will Smith is 20 though. So at 20, man, you're the most uninhibited you're going to be. You're free and all of that stuff. When I was 20, Kyle said no woman would ever tie me down. And 2 marriages later.
But Kamal, let's just keep it real. Let's just go back to that. You said no woman would ever tie you down. Let's be honest. Do you want a woman to tie you down, or did you surrender because she found a way to tie you down?
Yeah, the second one.
Okay, exactly. So you still don't want a woman to tie you down. You just love this woman. You guys have a family. So you're like, okay, I'll be tied down.
But here's the thing about it. My point is, at 20, I had a philosophy.
Okay. But you have the same one now.
I don't
20 years later, come on, you still do not want to be tied down. You just do it because you know that the alternative doesn't work either.
Right. So my point is, yeah, you're right. So she might still want that, 20 years from now, but the guy she falls in love with ain't having it.
Exactly. And that's what happens to most people. So if she stays in this community of polyamorous people, she will only, because one of the things I was reading there was like, and it, of course me, I'm hard-headed. I'm like, I don't want to hear this part. They're like, dude, if you're polyamorous, do not mess with anybody who is not. Or at least not down with it, because you cannot convert anybody. If just like, if somebody tries to flip a person that's not gay and make them gay, it ain't never going to happen. So you can't make a monogamous person into polyamory. They can't. They've already, go ahead.
Are these swingers?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because what they call it is, non-monogamy. So basically it's consensual. Ain't nobody lying. There's different versions of it. There's one guy, 2 girls. There's a thing where everybody got somebody else. There's different versions of it. I don't know it that well offhand to say it without reading it, but I know there's different versions. It's not always like everybody got somebody. Sometimes it's like, the dude got 3 girls and the 3 girls don't got nobody else because they don't want nobody else, but they understand that there's other people. So there's just different versions. Oh,
okay. So it's not like basically like me and my girl each got somebody. It could be
that's one version of it. Yeah.
I don't like that version.
Yeah, of course you don't like that version.
I don't like that version.
But the truth is, man, I think if young people understood there's different versions and ways to do it, you would go out looking for somebody who was down to understand, okay, I'm going to have 3 and you're not into nobody else. Because there are some women that are monogamous but understand their man is not. Go ahead.
No, I actually thought that Willow was real mature when she said that, let's say she's married to somebody and he likes to have sex a lot and she doesn't, she's not really feeling sex like that. Is he supposed to deny himself? I mean, to that effect, right? I'm
the
paraphrasing.
logic was beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, it was like, wow, this is really mature for a 20-year-old. I mean, you have 50-year-old women who don't believe in no shit like this.
They really don't. They like, you know what she said? Is he supposed to just adjust to your sex drive? And that's what a lot of women say. Yes, he is. He's supposed to just, if I don't want to, he don't want to. And he's just supposed to be looking at the ceiling, mad as fuck. Yeah,
honestly, that just doesn't seem right.
It doesn't.
Because it's like, well, where is the basically, there's no compromise with you. There's no, I'm the one
compromise.
I have to compromise.
Of course, he has to get on board.
Yeah, that one just doesn't seem right. So when she said that, I thought that was really, really mature. I mean, honestly, I'm like, but she's 20. I need like some 30 and 40-year-old women to
come talk about that.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're reviewing Michael B. Jordan's Without Remorse. And later on, we got a Dear Irby from a woman who shared her fears with her husband only to have it fly back in her face. What should she do? Kamala and I got to coach her up. It's the MRA Podcast. Guys, I have a comedy album. It's called Be a Man at All Times, and it's on, what's it on? Oh, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you stream your content.
It's a damn good comedy album.
I appreciate that, man. There's stand-up on there. Kamal and I wrote a whodunit mystery called The Case of the Missing Balls. That's on there.
Based on a true story.
Check out the album. Show your boy some support. And you can buy it on iTunes. Keyword buy it. Stop streaming. Kamal, Michael B. Jordan stars in a movie called Without Remorse. And when I tell you it is an old school man movie, it is an old school man movie. Mm-hmm. Straight up, I mean, the toxic masculinity. I mean, they did put a lot of women and diversity in it, but this dude, it is a shoot 'em ups. I'm mad because you took my girl. I mean, it's probably a trope. And a guy like you probably seen 50 versions of this, but I was here for it and I loved it. How'd you feel about it, dog?
Kyle, keep it real with you, man.
Here we go.
It's an action movie starring a black man.
Come on.
In every action movie starring a black man, really every action movie, I live by like one code. It's WWMIB.
WWMIB.
Yes.
WWMIB. What does that mean, Kamal?
Would Wesley make it better?
You are such a fool, dude.
Would Wesley Snipes have made this movie better, Kyle? And I'm going to have to say yes. Of course he would.
You know what? It's funny you say that. When I was watching it, man, in the beginning, even in the beginning, because I was comparing him to Jason Statham, who I really appreciate. And I was hoping, and he's got to shoot him up like this coming out. Then the guy, I haven't seen nobody. But the point is, my knock on Michael B. Jordan is he nailed the acting, but he couldn't nail the alpha shoot him up guy. And you're right, Wesley would have made it better. Go ahead, man. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I'm watching this movie, man, and like you said, I've seen this trope 50 times, you know. I got to get these guys back. They killed my girl.
Yes.
And so I knew what to expect as it was unfolding. I pretty much knew the plot. I knew who the bad guys were. So I really wasn't impressed with the action. And so for me, it's a pass, man. I cannot. Wow. Yeah, I can't. This is one of those movies where, like, I don't have to see this again. Now, some of my favorite guys make movies like this. I mean, Will Smith and Gemini Man. Like, I don't have to watch Gemini Man ever again. Like, some of these action movies, in my opinion, they take themselves too seriously. And this one was just too serious. Michael B. Jordan, who is very charismatic. He was charismatic in the Black Panther movie and stuff like that. Charismatic in Creed. In this one, he was like a robot. And I just thought that
he was trying to get his badass on, come out,
right? And it's like you don't have to.
Jason Statham on, his Denzel on. He's trying to get his Wesley on because it's not. That's not his wheelhouse, my dude.
Yeah, and you know what? I was watching Blind Date the other day. And
refresh our memory what Blind Date is.
Blind Date is a movie starring Bruce Willis and Kim Basinger. He goes on this blind date, and the funny thing about it is he's warned by his sister-in-law that it's his sister-in-law's cousin. Don't let her drink. She acts crazy, and he totally forgets. He pulls out the champagne, and they're drinking before they actually go out, and hilarity ensues because she turns into a problem for this man. His job, his social life, his yeah. And so,
by the way, would Bruce have made this better?
Yes.
You don't want to say it now.
Yes, but
motherfucker Bruce is a beast. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I was watching Blind Date, and then I was like talking to my girl. We watched it, and it was like, and then like a year later, this motherfucker does Die Hard, and it's like, yeah, dude, Die Hard. You know, at the time in the 80s, like you had these badass guys, and then you get Bruce Willis, who looks like a regular fucking guy, who it makes sense. He's not, you know, just hard, and he's affected by the gunshots, and you know, when people are dying, he's showing like real emotion, and he's funny. Like I just thought that Michael B. Jordan just like he missed a couple of opportunities to actually be that guy who, you know, who can replace Wesley.
So what I'm hearing is, man, everybody can't do every role, right? And we have not found our heir apparent to Wesley Snipes. No. We have not found the black Bruce Willis. I mean, he may be out there, but it's not Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan can act. That dude can act. But I understand what you're saying of he's trying to step into action hero. He's trying to step into that Will Smith mode. Will Smith, the homie Will could have done this too.
The homie Will can do it. The homie Will has done it.
Yes.
You know, and it's just, I think I don't know if it's a director's choice or it's the actor's choice, but whoever it was, for me, it was like, man, like this is kind of boring to me.
Oh, wow. I didn't think it was boring.
I mean, some good action set pieces and stuff like that, some nice sequences, but, you know, I'm thinking in 2021, I'd like to see, you know, more advancements in
the technology.
Not necessarily the technology, but the stunts.
Oh, okay.
After you see Terminator 2 in 1992, you know, it's like, man, them cats. Or 1991, I think, in Terminator 2. It's like, and this action ain't better than T2. Come on, man.
All right, well, Kamal, I think our audience has a good way to take it. Does it get the MRA recommendation from Kyle? It does. You're going to see a guy movie. It's going to be fun. It's going to be loud. If you got the Dolby Surround in your house, have at it. If you got neighbors, I'm sorry. It's going to be loud for an hour and a half. Michael B. Jordan could be better with his action work, but he's an alpha enough dude in the movie to make it a yes for me. Does it get the MRA recommendation from you, Kamal? It
doesn't. And for our listeners out there, the entire time you're watching it, you're going to be thinking that Wesley would have killed this role.
I doubt that, but it's all.
Yeah, I guarantee you'll be thinking, man, Wesley would have killed this role.
I don't think they would have been thinking of Wesley unless you said it. When we come back, I almost missed a damn ballet recital, man. And how did our teams do in the draft? We'll talk about it. And then it's the Irby time. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, what's up? If you're enjoying this show, do us a favor and donate to our Patreon.
Word.
Just go to www.patreon.com. That's Patreon.com and make a donation to the MRA Podcast of Kyle and Kamal.
Word.
It's that simple. Listen to the show, love the show, share the show, break the show off with some dough.
Bars.
Kamal, you know I like to make it to my kids' games and events, right?
Oh, yeah.
Daughter had a ballet recital, man, that coincided on a work day, man. And the question was, should I ask to move the meeting we always have at a certain time? And I didn't want to do it, man. Did not want to do it, dog, because sometimes you don't want to, you know, I always think about it. If you're in the NBA, you can't move the game. You know what I mean? But if you can move it, you move it. You don't know what I mean.
No, I'm saying no. You can't move the game.
Yeah, you can't move the game. So, but if you can move it, you can move it. But sometimes, just going to tell you, in this particular meeting I had to go to, the person who runs the meeting is not flexible with moving the time. You're going to have to hear it if you got to move the time. So I had a choice. Who am I about to piss off? What do you recommend?
Well, if you've never missed a meeting, you can't move the games, right? Like,
can't move the games.
But if you have to take some time off because, your child's born or something like that, I think the team is cool with it. Now, if you can't miss the game and go to the casino.
No, you cannot.
But if it's some family event, I would think that the coach or the boss would understand, especially if this is this is not your character. You don't miss any meetings.
And that's what people got to understand. That you got to be sure your character's straight, man, because if you always miss for some bullshit, then when you need to miss, you're going to be in trouble and you're going to be blaming the boss. Mm-hmm. So I did miss. I was willing to miss, and I think that was the thing. And they worked with me, and I was able to make it to both. So I got to see my baby girl's ballet recital. Nice. Boring as a motherfucker, by the way, Kamel.
I was going to say, how was it?
Boring as a motherfucker.
A little kid ballet recital? Boring?
Boring as a motherfucker. Shocking, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, man. My baby girl's getting better, and I just was happy to be there, man, because those things, as you know, to me, are very important, man. I never want to miss a game.
I'm keeping her busy, man, with a national championship and...
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, bro. So, I wanted to make sure I was there, man, especially since I would have been there for her brothers, man, and no damn question.
I can dig that, man. I got my boy, we took him to his first tennis lesson.
Oh, shit. My dad's a tennis coach. That's what's up.
Oh, for real?
Tennis. Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. He hit the ball pretty good, dude.
How old are we talking about? We talking about big boy or we talking about Taz?
Taz.
Okay.
And honestly, man, that Taz label is not appropriate anymore.
Formerly known as Taz.
That guy is so mellow.
You mean Meek Mill?
Yeah, he
went from
is.
Taz to Meek Mill.
Oh my gosh, he is low key and chill.
All right, man. We'll get your tennis on, man.
Yeah, man.
I know my dad. He listened to the show. He's gonna be happy to hear that your boy's hitting that tennis racket because he got a million stories about how important it is. And speaking of sports, man, I just want to say my Raiders. I'm very happy with who they took in the first round. I was happy that they took an offensive lineman from Alabama because Alabama, you want to get a national champion. You want to get guys that know how to win. How do you feel about who your Broncos took?
I didn't watch college football as
yeah.
When SC is bad, I only pay attention to college football. So a lot of these guys, I just don't know them unless they're the famous people. So I knew going into the draft, we needed a quarterback. I thought we needed a quarterback, and Justin Fields, the quarterback for Ohio State, fell right into our lap.
Right into your damn lap.
And we passed on him and got a cornerback, Patrick Surtain's son, Patrick Surtain,
baller,
the second.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear he was the best corner in the draft. In the second round, we got I think the second or third best running back in the draft. So I don't know, but I do know is that they'll probably be great.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably be great players, and they'll probably lead us to greatness.
They're Broncos.
Because they're Broncos, man. They're Broncos,
okay.
and
we can move on now. I'm going to say this: my Raiders got a B- by Mel Kiper. I don't know if you. It doesn't matter what your guys got because you're going to say they're going to be great. Anyway.
Well, I mean, that B-, take that with a grain of salt. I think the Jamarcus Russell draft thing, they got a B- as well.
That wasn't good.
I think they got a B- when they drafted Darius Hayward-Bay in the first round. So, I mean,
listen.
I've heard it all before.
We drafting linemen now, man, instead of all shiny dudes, man. You don't want to do that. You don't want to always get the shiny dudes. Anyway, when we come back, man, it is Dear Irby time. There's a Dear Irby from a woman who shared her fears with her husband only to have it fly back in her face. What should she do? Kamala and I are going to coach her up. It's MRA Podcast. You need some advice in your relationship
and can't afford a therapist?
Yeah. Hit us up and we'll get you through this.
We won't even charge you a copay.
Exactly. The Dear Irby letter is our longest standing segment on the MRA, dating all the way back to the webisodes. This is where we truly save relationships one listener at a time. We've saved marriages,
encouraged divorce,
taught a guy how to please his woman,
Encourage divorce?
Yeah, so hit us up for advice and we'll help you out. Send your emails to dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That is dearirby@themrapodcast.com. Let's get into this Dear Irby letter.
Let us.
Dear Irby, I'm the type of woman who naturally worries. I carry a lot of the burden for our household. I'm always worried about my job, our children, the state of the world, etc. My husband says he never worries. I want to buy a house. I want it to be nice. And he says it's going to work out. I hate when he says that it's going to work out if he doesn't know how things work. At the rate where he and I are currently saving, it's going to take us 20 more years to get a house. And that's not okay. Last night I shared some recent things that I've been worried about, and he got mad at me. He made it seem like it was my fault that I don't have a house right now, by now. He even pointed out that I don't have a house because I could have got one a long time ago but didn't try to. I regret even sharing with him what's going on inside my heart and mind. Now he's acting different. I'm wondering, can you guys tell me why is he being mean now? Because I don't think I did anything wrong. This is from Yumi in OKC. Come out. Can you help her out, please?
Yes, I sure can.
Nice.
Yumi, even if you don't realize it, even if it wasn't intentional, when you told your husband what you were worrying about, and especially getting into like the house situation, I'm sure you blamed him for not having a house.
Ooh.
I'm sure of it. Like you said, he doesn't worry about it. He said everything is going to work out. And when you brought up the house, you probably said because he's not taking it serious enough. You know, you probably blamed him for you guys not having a house. And his reaction, which I don't agree with, is basically to flip it back on you. Well, you could have had one a long time ago. And he's probably right. You probably had a chance to buy a house, but it was probably not to your standards, not in the area that you would approve of, or whatever. You like to travel, or you didn't think you needed one at the time, and you didn't get one. And so here we are now. You want a house, and the caveat is you want it to be a nice house. That's going to be tough. So what you're saying is, yeah, if to get what you want, it's going to take 20 years. Okay, is there a way you can meet in the middle? Is there a way you can, scale down your expectations? Possibly. I would suggest that. As far as your husband goes, who thinks everything is going to be okay, I see where this guy's coming from. I probably am like this guy a lot. Things are going to work out. He's like, man, hey, look, got the family, got the kids, we're working, we're blessed. If we're supposed to get a house, a nice house, things are gonna work out.
Yes.
He's at peace with it right now. He's cool with it right now. And you, like you said, you always worry. You worry about your job. Yep. That's what you're gonna do. Opposites attract. You're the warrior, and he's the guy who's like saying, "Hey, baby, everything's gonna be okay." Why is it a problem this time? Well, because I think you let your worries get the best of you in this situation with the house.
Yep.
You want this fly house, probably in the fly neighborhood, and he's probably like, let's just get a house if that's what you want. We can get a house. I want some fly. Oh, well, okay, well, all right. That might take a little longer, and he's probably done his best to try to convince you that you didn't need the house where you wanted it, and he's didn't work out, and he's probably given up. So what you see is like you see apathy. He's probably just whatever. I'm good, baby. If this is what you want, we can try to figure it out, but you're the one who really, really wants it. Now, what you want him to do is figure out a way to get the house that you want.
Yep.
And that's not where he is right now in his life. Now, if you say, "Hey, baby, I want to get a house, in the next 5 years. Let's move. Let's get our own place and give him the reasons why." I'm pretty sure your husband seems like a reasonable person. If he's anything like me, he's going to agree. Okay, let's do it. But don't say, I need you to do this. I need you. You need to be more serious. You. Because what you're suggesting is you're perfect. You got this shit all figured out. And he's the one killing the game. He's killing it for you guys. He's killing the happiness. He's killing the dream.
Yep.
That can't happen, Yumi. All right? So I think if you guys work together and be on the same page, yeah, I'm with your husband. Things will work out. I'm in this by saying a few years ago, I was trying to do, I was writing the show Who Shot Daquan. I had no money. I had no money to pay for it. And I was talking to a guy, Matt Claybrooks. Shout out to Matt, you know, homie Matt. And I told Matt, I was like, man, I don't even know how I'm going to pay for this shit. He said, hey, man, don't worry about the money. Believe in your project and the money will come. Sure enough, a year later, the money came. So believe in the goal. Start looking at houses. Just get into the mindset. Put this shit out in the universe. Start taking your husband to like your open houses and stuff like that. Because guess what? I think he'll start looking on his own as well. Make it a couple thing and not like, hey, boy, you need to do this. And I think what your husband said, everything will work out in the end.
When we come back, I'm going to weigh in. Yo, what's up? I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kamal.
And you're listening to the MRA podcast where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. Come on, this is great, man. I'm going to get straight to it. I feel, first of all, you came to the right place. You are lucky. You got two dudes like your husband right here. Ladies, ask us. We'll tell you. We have no stake in the game. We're not trying to hit it. We could be honest. We don't care. We care. We meaning we care, but we don't care if you get mad. This is the real. This is it. So here it is. I'm the kind of woman that naturally worries. Let me stop you right there. That is a scapegoat. You are making excuses for you worrying. Worrying isn't healthy. I don't want to hear that you naturally worry. That's bullshit. You don't want to hear that I naturally dip my dick in other women. You don't want to hear that. Is it natural? You're damn right. You don't want to hear it, though, because you're going to say, I have a brain. I can control my brain. So that means only I got to control my brain and control myself? No, you got to control yourself, too. You don't get to say, I just naturally worry. No, you have a habit of worrying. And your worrying has become your dominant thought. So I carry a lot of the burden for the household. All right. That's another thing you're trying to say. You want him to do more. I'm always worried about my job. Why? Because you don't trust that he can carry it. Our children, the state of the world. Some of that stuff you can't fix. My husband says he never worries because he doesn't. And as Kamal said, opposites attract. He ain't trying to worry. That's why it frustrates him to deal with you. You want to put your negative energy on him. It's not negative energy. It's not my fault I worry. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're not telling. You have to take these worries. These worries are lies, and you need to tell these worries the truth. Or you need to flip it into faith. I'm worried I'm never going to get a house. Can easily be fixed to, I'm looking forward to getting a house. Different vibe. Okay, I hate when he says that it's going to work out because he doesn't know how. You know, here's the thing. You want to find excuses to worry because your worrying is your habit. At the rate where we and I are currently saving, it's going to take us like 20 more years to get a house. And then he put it back on you. So I'm going to throw the flag on him for putting it on you, but I'm about to put it back on you because he's right. You could have had a house long goddamn time ago, but you didn't. You had a chance and you didn't. So now all of a sudden you want one fast? Motherfucker, that ain't his fault. You should have. It's going to take a while. I'm sorry. But here's the thing you don't know, Yumi. When we're dealing with faith, there are things, you don't have all the numbers to the equation. I'm a math guy. You can't do this equation. You don't know how long it's going to take. Once you start taking steps to do it, things that God is going to look out. I know that's hard to explain to people that want to worry and want to, blah, 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 blah. Your faith you need to work on your faith. You need to work on your confidence. And how do you do that? By continually to remember what God has done for you before. And I'm not talking about in religious and pay your tithes. And I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about literally what has God done for you. You don't want to call it God, call it the universe. Whatever you want to call it. There's things that we can't control that have gone well for us that was out of our control. Just try to remember that on a daily basis. You need to retrain your mind to get new habits. Now he's acting different. You know why he's acting different? Because he's frustrated. Does he want to worry or not, Kamal?
No.
And let me tell you, there's a line in that James Brown movie that I love. When James Brown say, I am not about to let you get me outside of myself. I love that line. I love that line because people will, especially people that want to worry, they want you to join them in their worry. And they're going to give you excuses why you should be worried. Everybody, you should be worried. Nah, dog, not going to do it because that's not going to help me. So that's what it is. You need to join him. Don't bring him to you to worry land. Try to figure out how to get to faith land. And I'm going to tell you how. Remembering what God has done for you will help you to have more faith. Because I promise you, you have not planned out every detail of your life. There have been miracles in your life that you have forgotten about. We all do. That's why we have to make a daily habit to remember. Where can we find you?
Twitter, Instagram, and Clubhouse at Angry Kamal.
Yes, indeed. I'm at Kyle Irby, KYLEERBY. At the MRA Podcast is where you can find us both on all social media, except Clubhouse. We're not there yet, but we will be. KyleIrby.com is my website. You can see some of my commercials, see my stand-up, blase, skip. Check out KyleIrby.com. Kamal Abdul-Jabbar, comedy is back. Stand-up comedy, the Comedy Store is open again. Yeah.
Swear.
Yeah, man. So stand-up comedy is coming back in California. I'm happy about it. AMRApodcast.com is where you can listen to 144 of our episodes. Check us out on DynastyRadioNY.com and 1073VIP.com, our affiliates in New York and Illinois, respectively. Come out, you bring it every time, man. You're prepared. You're hilarious. I appreciate what you do, my guy.
Thank you, man.
Ladies, we love you. Fellas, be a man at all times.
Deuces.
MRA.